Today on Playmakers, number 17 Kansas Volleyball hosted number 23 Baylor Bears inside Horsch Family Volleyball Arena on Wednesday. In their first test of the year, Kansas men's basketball proved true with a gargantuan win over number 17 Kentucky. The Jayhawk Hockey Club hosted its annual Hockey Fights Cancer game at Cable Dahmer Arena last week. I'm Tyler DiDomenico, and welcome back to Playmakers. Junior quarterback Jalen Daniels announced Thursday that he is staying with the Jayhawks for the 2024 season. After much speculation from the media about Daniels going elsewhere after the conclusion of this season, he finally suppressed those rumors in an announcement yesterday. Daniels will not play the rest of the season, but will be back for next season, fully rested and healthy under Coach Lance Leipold. Kansas volleyball, ranked number 17 in the latest poll, kept its home winning streak alive Wednesday night in a matchup against number 23 Baylor. Jaden was on scene and has all you need to know for the Jayhawks near the end of the regular season play.
In a thrilling 2023 season, the Kansas Jayhawks volleyball team has emerged as a dominant force in the collegiate volleyball arena. Leading the charge for the Jayhawks are standout players Aya El-Nadi and Reagan Cooper. El-Nadi, a junior outside hitter, has showcased her prowess with an impressive 296 kills, 23 aces, and 338 points so far this year. Meanwhile, the Texas Tech transfer, Reagan Cooper, seamlessly integrated into the team, contributing 263 kills and 285 points as well. Beyond their individual stats, the dynamic duo has played a crucial role in enhancing the overall cohesiveness of the team. Coach Bouchard emphasizes the significance of players like El-Nadi and Cooper, recognizing their vital contribution to the team's success.
No, I think she's boy, if that's not a confidence builder tonight. You know, she had 17 kills, only one hitting error. She took some really good swings. Once again, her and Ann worked diligently over the last 10 days to make this happen, and certainly she was key for us to pull off the win tonight.
The Jayhawks season has seen notable triumphs, including a sweep against the Mountaineers and a hard-fought Sunflower showdown against Kansas State. Despite losing Reagan Cooper to an injury in the latter, junior Caroline Bean has stepped up, proving instrumental with 14 kills and 16 points.
Bean will do whatever we need to be successful, and she played great back row defense tonight. She'll take big swings if we need her to. She did that at Iowa State in the 5-set match. So we talk about roster 19 all the time, about everybody's got to be ready. You never know which of those 19 is going to be the one to help us pull through in a victory.
Recent matches have been a testament to the team's resilience. A heart-wrenching 5-set loss to Iowa State was followed by a comeback victory in the next match, with the Jayhawks clawing their way to a thrilling 19-17 win. This momentum carried into a Big 12 clash against 23-ranked Baylor, where the Jayhawks triumphed, achieving a season record of 20-5 overall and an impressive 11-4 in the Big 12, turning their attention to the postseason. Focused, driven, and determined, the team sets its sights on the ultimate prize. The Jayhawks will head to Provo, Utah to take on number 13 BYU tonight, starting at 8 p.m. The 2023 season will undoubtedly be remembered as a defining chapter in the storied legacy of KU volleyball, marking a period of triumph, growth, and the relentless pursuit of excellence.
The Kansas men's basketball team looked to keep their Champions Classic streak alive this week in Chicago as they took on number 17 Wildcats Kentucky in their first true test of the season. Playmakers was live at the United Center on a huge win for the Jayhawks.
The Kansas Jayhawks were able to pull away with an 89-84 victory against the Kentucky Wildcats on Tuesday in the annual Champions Classic. It was a back-and-forth first half until Kentucky got hot from three. Freshman pair Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepard combined for 6 threes in just the first 20 minutes. Fifth-year Antonio Reeves did not display his veteran status, making only 1 of his 6 attempted field goals in the first. He added just 2 more in the second half, leaving him at 3 for 17 from the field. Kentucky head coach John Calipari praised his team on their efforts despite the outcome. He said he is fully aware that his team is young and they have to make adjustments, but he was very proud of how the freshmen performed against the #1 team in the country. It wasn't until the second half when Kansas started to play together and use all of its ability to get past this Kentucky team. The Jayhawks were down 14 at the beginning of the second half until point guard DeJuan Harris made some noise from behind the arc. He got his confidence back, going 3 for 4 and finishing with a career high of 23 points. Other star players Hunter Dickinson and Kevin McCullough also contributed to the team's victory with record-breaking finishes. McCullough became the third Jayhawk in school history to report a triple-double, finishing with 12, 10, and 10. Dickinson proved he is on track for a remarkable season, putting up 27 points and 21 rebounds. KJ Adams made plays all night until he fouled out late in the second half. Coach Bill Self said he was aware that with both Adams and Dickinson playing, the court looked crowded, but he's not concerned with the chemistry these two have shown on the floor. His next step? Making adjustments to Adams, forcing him to play the same role as last season, but building off the addition of Dickinson. With this win, Kansas is now 8-5 in Champions Classic history and will look to face off against Michigan State next year. Moving from the court to the ice, the KU Hockey Club hosted its annual Hockey Fights Cancer game last Friday. Cable Dahmer Arena saw a split of games between the Jayhawks and Wash U. Here's a recap on what that night entailed. The Jayhawks took the ice on November 10th for their third annual Hockey Fights Cancer game. The night ended with the Jayhawks winning by a final score of 4-1. This game was special for a numerous amount of people in attendance and for people within the team and staff. The 4-1 win meant a little bit more, as this was for all those who are battling cancer and those who have been affected by the sickness. Before the game, the staff had bracelets and merchandise available for purchase, and all of the proceeds were donated towards the club's goal of $5,000. The total money raised at the end of the month will be donated to the American Cancer Society. They also had blank "I Fight For" signs for fans to fill out, and the finished signs from players and coaches were hung up behind the benches during the game. Video of the players filling out their signs and explaining who they fight for was displayed on the Jumbotron during the second intermission. This wasn't the only thing that players did, as the players were also sporting brand new jerseys that featured the official color of the National Hockey League's Hockey Fights Cancer initiative, lavender. This game is especially important for the head of the broadcasting committee, senior Gabe Daniel. Gabe's father lost his battle to cancer, and to honor him and his memory, Gabe dropped the puck at the start of the game. To make the event even more significant, the team was able to move from its usual community ice to the much bigger Cable Dahmer Arena, which is home to the Kansas City Mavericks. KU's Hockey Fight Cancer initiative continues through the end of November, and donations are still being accepted as they try to reach their $5,000 goal. For Playmakers, I'm Lindsay Ryan.
David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium will play host one last time in its over 100-year history before renovations start for the Gateway project. It will be a fitting send-off as the Jayhawks take on K-State in the Sunflower Showdown. Lauren brought in a member of the Wildcat student media team to preview the highly anticipated matchup.
Thank you, Tyler. I'm Lauren Ritchie, joined alongside by our special guest, Jake Stevens, who is a sophomore at K-State right now, and we're going to be breaking down tomorrow's Sunflower Showdown in this annual rivalry. Jake, what are you expecting to see in tomorrow's matchup?
I think this is going to be one of the higher scoring games that we've seen. I think both these offenses are really good and experienced. I think kind of depends on what we see from KU at quarterback tomorrow, whether that's Jason Bean, Jalen Daniels, or Cole Ballard. We're not sure yet. But I do think that both these offenses are good. KU's been a really run-heavy team, and K-State's run defense hasn't been the best this season. So we'll see. I think that there's going to be a lot of points scored, and I think it'll be a close game.
Like you mentioned, I think KU's way to win tomorrow is definitely through their run game. I mean, Devin Neals put up huge numbers and had help from Highshaw. But I want to talk a little bit about the quarterbacks. Jason Bean is expected to start, but if he does remain hurt or go down, the true freshman Cole Ballard will be set up on the stage again. How does your defense, which is currently 22nd in the nation, opponents averaging just 18.5 points per game, if Cole Ballard does play, how does your defense going to match up to him, considering there's no film on this freshman yet?
Yeah, he's a young guy with no film, like you said, Lauren, and so I think it becomes kind of an interesting storyline. It reminds me a lot of Avery Johnson at Texas Tech earlier this year. They didn't have any film on him, and he went for 5 touchdowns on the ground that game. So I think that, our defense hasn't been the best on the road this year, especially at home. It's been much better, and I think this is the most hostile environment we're going to see in Lawrence in a long, long time. It's a sellout tomorrow. So I'm really excited to see. I think that Cole Ballard could end up making a couple plays. I just don't think we know enough about him yet to really know what we're going to see with him.
Now I want to know your final score prediction in tomorrow's game. I'm
going to take K-State 34-24. I think that both teams are going to be really good and ready to go. I think that K-State does get it done tomorrow. I really think that this team is, at the beginning of the year, this team was supposed to go to the conference title. They've still got a shot with a 3-team tie at second place right now. But the Sunflower Showdown is always going to be a good rivalry. And so this year I think we see the closest rendition we've seen in a really long time. I think both these teams are going to be ready to compete tomorrow. Hopefully K-State fans travel well tomorrow, but KU has sold it out, so I'm excited for this rendition of it.
I'm going to take Kansas on this one, and I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I'm going to say 21-14, Kansas out on top. And I want to talk a little bit about the history before we end this. Kansas hasn't beaten K-State since 2008, and you guys have taken the last 14 editions. Kansas currently leads the all-time series 65-50-5, so we'll end on that. Thank you so much, Jake, for joining us today. Tyler, back to you.
Great stuff, Lauren. Could we see another goalpost end up in Potter Lake tomorrow? We'll certainly find out. That's all for our KU Sports Block. Next up, we take a look into the pro sports scene with some breaking news. Shohei Ohtani and Ronald Acuna Jr. were each named the most valuable player for their respective leagues on Thursday. They both won in unanimous fashion, a very rare occurrence in the 92-year history of the award. Acuna, who combined 41 home runs with a league-leading 73 stolen bases, received all 30 first-place votes. He was the first to ever hit 40 homers and steal 70-plus bases in the same season. Ohtani, who is at the top of every free agent board this offseason, was the first player to win the award unanimously on 2 occasions. He is just the 7th player to record a 10-WAR season this century. The Las Vegas Strip will be the center of entertainment on Sunday, but not for the reason you may be thinking. Lily is here to tell you all about F1's inaugural race on the Strip.
It's lights out in the city that never sleeps, and away we go at the first Las Vegas Grand Prix. Formula One has gone all in for a circuit that incorporates the city's famous Strip and is set to be unlike anything F1 has ever seen before. The midnight start time is just one of the firsts for the race that includes a controversial track, millions of dollars in construction, and ticket revenue. Spending upwards of $500 million in preparation for the race, you could make the argument that purely from a perspective of a standalone event, this is the biggest race F1 has ever hosted. Fans seem to be less convinced with the circuit and are worried about the lack of obvious overtaking opportunities and a risky pit lane exit. Locals have strong feelings as well, as the construction process has shut down a portion of the Strip and affected tourism over the last several months. So far, the drivers have only been able to get a feel for the track through simulated runs. However, 2023 Formula One World Champion driver Max Verstappen labeled the race as, quote, 99% show and 1% race. Another factor in this race is the temp. With a forecasted high of 47 degrees, there is concern surrounding the tires. Cold tires mean less grip on the track, which could lead to an additional challenge for the drivers. In terms of revenue generated so far, ticket prices have soared since the announcement of the race, with a 3-day general admission price reaching $1,667. For comparison, the next closest is the Miami Grand Prix, which averages just over $1,100 for the same pass. Although these ticket prices are sky high, it is perhaps underlining the opportunity for growth of Formula One in the United States. But with the city and F1 making a long-term partnership, it is fair to assume this process and this race will become much more efficient and accepted in the coming years. For Playmakers, I'm Lily Hennick.
While the football program at the University of Michigan is having another very successful year on the gridiron, it has been the off-field activities that have gotten the Wolverines into the national news spotlight. Coach Jim Harbaugh and company have been alleged of various instances of sign stealing. These instances involved impermissible in-person scouting of opponents going back as far as 3 seasons. An investigation spearheaded by the Big Ten Conference with the help of the NCAA has been looking into the claims for the past month, while the team has been ranked inside the top 3 for the majority of the college football season. Last Saturday's clash with Penn State was the first of a 3-game suspension that would keep Harbaugh off the sideline. He is eligible to return for the Big Ten championship game and Michigan's expected college football playoff experience. With Michigan having one of its best seasons in recent memory, this is certainly not an optimal time for this to be happening to the program. With Ohio State looming in 2 weeks, we will see if anything happens in the meantime. The conference semifinals of the MLS playoffs are going down this weekend, and Sporting KC is among the teams still in contention to win the cup. Brody is here to get you up to speed on games across the league.
Thanks, Tyler. The first round of the new tournament format for the MLS Cup playoffs saw 3 teams playing in best-of-3 matchups. The stakes will be raised the rest of the way, with teams only playing 1 game to determine who will move on to the conference semifinals. Let's check out who we have left and how they got here. In the East, 1-seed FC Cincinnati took care of business against New York Red Bulls, winning both games led by MVP candidate Luciano Acosta. This year they'll take on last year's runner-ups 4 seed Philadelphia Union, who easily beat the New England Revolution in round 1, winning 3-1 and 1-0. 3 seed Columbus Crew won a hard-fought series against Atlanta United. The Crew were led by star forward Chucho Hernandez, who scored 3 goals in round 1, giving him 19 on the season. Facing off against the Crew will be 2 seed Orlando City. After the regular season, its best regular season in short history, Orlando beat Nashville FC 1-0 in both games to move on. Out west, we saw the only upset of the first round, and it was a big one. 1 seed St. Louis City lost to cross-state rival and 8 seed Sporting Kansas City. Gotti Kindo was stellar for SKC, providing 3 assists in 2 games. The 4 seed Houston Dynamo would take on Sporting in Houston, after the Dynamo beat Real Salt Lake in a crazy series, with 2 of the 3 games going to penalties between the clubs. 3 seed LAFC beat up Vancouver 5-2 and 1-0, with 3 goals from striker Dennis Boyanga. LA will play against the 2 seed Seattle Sounders after they pulled off a series victory against FC Dallas. LA and Seattle have some of the best defenses in the MLS, so expect a tough battle in this one. With most favorites advancing, the new playoff format, and some of the best players in the league, the level of intensity will surely be raised and make these games a must-watch for MLS fans. Make sure you tune in on November 25th and 26th to see who will move on in their quest for the MLS Cup. That's all I have, Tyler. Back to you.
Thanks, Brody. That's all for our pro sports section. Up next, another week, another roundtable with Reed. This week, the Crew will be doing a little mock draft action. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Playmakers. The women's college basketball scene features headline players across the country. On this week's Roundtable with Reed, they will be mock drafting their starting 3 with the best players in the nation.
Welcome back to Roundtable with Reed, and today we get to talk about one of my favorite topics, women's college basketball. I'm with Kara Lyons and Lauren Ritchie, 2 newcomers to the Roundtable, and now this is how it gets to work, guys. This is our draft board. Each of us get 3 picks. We're playing a little 3-on-3, almost like we're at a park. My first pick, you knew who it was going to be. I got the Navy on. UConn's own, Paige Beckers, guys. Obviously, 2021 Wooden Award winner. Paige is one of the best players in the league, I should say. In the NCAA, she's one of the best players. That's my layup #1 pick. Kara, who are you taking with your 2nd overall pick?
With my 2nd overall pick, I have Angel Reese. She's gritty and feisty underneath the basket. The way she drives, can finish. She's averaging 10.3 rebounds per game, which is leading LSU right now, and averaging 17 points per game. I think she can definitely be a key factor in my success.
Obviously, I'm the defending national champion, the LSU Tigers. Lauren, your 3rd pick, Cameron Brink out of Stanford. Tell me why.
The 6'4" senior, I think she can beat both of your players right there. I mean, Paige Beckers being hurt is, I think, definitely going to affect her this year. She's an equal force both on offense and defense. She was 2nd in the nation last season in block shots per game. I know, obviously, going up against Angel Reese, I think that'd be a fun little one to watch. And with her big game experiences, she played in the national championship her freshman year and is now a centerpiece in her senior year. I'm excited to watch her play, and I think she's a huge threat.
And now we're going to do the snake draft, so you get the 4th pick.
All right, I get to go again. Yeah, so this time I'm taking Georgia Moore. I think she's on the underrated side. I think she's definitely going to come up this year. I mean, she was a floor leader last season. She's stacking up her resume. She was ACC tournament MVP. Had 118 threes last season, giving her 34% in threes made, and I think that speaks for itself. Obviously, they lost against Iowa on Monday in their home opener, 80-76. She played all 40 minutes. She went 7 for 14 from behind the three-point arc and finished with a team high of 31 points. So I think she's definitely a dual threat as well.
And now, Carrie, you're staying local with your 5th pick, Zakiya Franklin out of Kansas. Tell me why.
Yeah, I'm going KU's on Zakiya Franklin. She led KU last season with averaging 15.7 points per game. The way she is smooth with the ball, able to drive in, has great court vision, able to see the open man and Tiana Jackson down below. She was 1st team All Big 12, averages 4 assists per game right now, which is leading KU in assists, and she's averaging only 2 turnovers per game, which will definitely be crucial.
Now, you look at this draft board, and something must be missing, right? Because we don't have the best player in college basketball. Now I've got him. I've got 2 of the best players in college basketball, Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark, to play 3-on-3, and also this team needs a big, so I'm also taking the Hokie. I'm taking Elizabeth Kitley to play my center spot. Now, Kara, back to you. You're taking another LSU Tiger in Haley Van Lith.
I am, yeah. She's averaging almost 11 points per game right now. She led Louisville last year in points with 19.7 points per game, and she's leading LSU right now in assists. So definitely that ball movement between her and Zakaya, getting it down into Angel Reese. I think that'll definitely be a good team.
Do you remember who Haley Van Lith lost to last year? Caitlin Clark. Just making sure you remember that.
But who did Caitlin Clark lose to?
Angel Reese.
Angel
You're right.
Reese,
It goes all around. It goes all around. Lauren, your last pick. I'm sorry. We got off track. Last pick. Tell us who it is.
Yes, I'm super excited for this last pick. You're going to start to hear Juju Watkins a lot in the media. I mean, Scratch Clark, Scratch Beckers. I think she's on the come up. She was the 2023 #1 recruit and helped lead 21 USC to an upset against #7 Ohio State, 83-74 in their home opener. She scored 32 points in her first college basketball appearance. She finished 11 for 18 on the floor with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. She's one of the nation's highest-ranked incoming freshmen. She has Naismith and Gatorade National Player of the Year awards. So, I mean, that speaks for
Enough
itself.
said. Enough said. Guys, we have some stacked 3-on-3 squads. This would be almost a dream matchup to see these teams play. But, Tyler, who had the best team? Back to you.
Great stuff, Roundtable. If I had to pick a squad, I'm rolling with Jackson's. Paige and Clark on the same team is lethal. Next up, we are going to test Barry's knowledge on some NFL trivia. Take it away, Barry.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. It is NFL trivia time. I will be guessing 3 NFL players. Somebody in my AirPod will be I'll be asking them questions to try to guess each player. So let's get started. Is this player in the AFC or NFC? Is this player a quarterback? Is this player on defense? Is he a tight end? All right, is this player a running back? Is this player a double-digit number in the teens? Okay, so you said this player was in the AFC? Is this player in the AFC West? Is this player Keenan Allen? All righty. All right, I'm 1 for 1. All right, my next one is this player from California? Is this player in the NFC? Is he in the NFC North? Has this player ever been in a fight before? Not in the NFL. Okay. Is this player known for hard hitting? What is this player's best ability? Is this player in the NFC? Is this player in the NFC East? Is this player a double digit? Is this CeeDee Lamb? It's CeeDee Lamb? All right, 2 for 2. All right, last one. All right, is this player in the AFC or NFC? All right, is this AFC West? East? All right, does this player play for the Titans? Is it CJ? All right, so is this player Lamar Jackson? All right. That's all we got for NFL trivia. We're going to send it back to Tyler.
Thanks, Barry. Impressive performance. Next up, with the launch of ESPN Bet this week, we thought it would be fun to cook up a reboot of Playmakers Parlay. Take it away, boys.
The bromance is back, and so is Playmakers Parlay.
Yeah, Richie, it's been a while, but oh boy, am I hyped to be back with you.
Carson and I are here to get you guys the absolute locks of the weekend. Let's get right into this. What's the first leg of our parlay?
The first leg all relies on a current trend in the NFL, which is the fact that Josh Allen has been cooked lately.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, I used to be a big Allen supporter, but after throwing a pick in 6 straight games, I'm starting to lose faith. We could have gone the easy route and smacked the over on Josh Allen interceptions, but my partner has a better idea.
That's right. We wanted to pick a specific player on the Jets defense to pick off Allen, and no one better to do that than Mr. Sauce Gardner. It's time for Sauce to get his first of the year.
Lock it in, folks. The first leg of the Playmakers Parlay is Sauce Gardner over 0.5 interceptions, which is currently sitting at plus 550. The second leg of the parlay shifts from the gridiron to the hardwood. Tell them what we got.
Folks, it's time to run your nearest sportsbook or bookie and play Spurs plus 5.5 at -110 against the Kings tonight.
ESPN televised game in San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama, book it. There isn't much more to say about this one.
Okay, now time for the last leg and what it all could come down to, considering it's the last game to be played on this parlay.
What better to end it on than the Cricket World Cup Championship game between Australia and India? When you look up the word electric in the dictionary, this game pops up.
To keep it straight to the point, lock in India money line at -225 in this matchup. The main reason for us putting coin on India is because of their captain, who's considered to be one of their best batsmen of this era, Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma is absolutely unbelievable.
That's right, Richie. Sharma is just as electric as this matchup. We have no doubt that the captain of India will lead the team not only to a victory, but also our parlay.
Carson, this has been so much fun. I wish we could do it every week. But for now, we leave you guys with the locks for this weekend. And make sure to stay tuned on Playmakers Instagram on Monday to see how we did. Tyler, back to you.
Those sound like some mortal locks, gentlemen. I will certainly be riding those bets. Next up, Jack is back with another edition of his film breakdown. This time, Rookie of the Year contender C.J. Stroud is up for examination.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to NFL Breakdown, and this week we're going to be talking about C.J. Stroud, who in my personal opinion should be Rookie of the Year after this season. 2 weeks ago, he played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and absolutely lit them up. So let's take a look. On this play, they're running an RPO. Collins on the top of the screen will run a slant, and watch this linebacker. The minute he bites down, Stroud's going to pull the ball from the running back and hit Collins on the slant route. So what Stroud does, he notices this right away. Boom, pull, throw, easy touchdown for the Texans. Now here's another play in the same game where the Buccaneers are going to be running a cover 3. So this guy's going to have this flat zone. This guy's going to have the deep quarters on the right side, and there's a solo safety outside of the screen who has over the middle. Now, what are they going to do? They're going to run a cover 3 beater. Schultz is going to run a flat route to hold that defender. Brown's going to run a post to hold the safety, and that leaves Tank Dell right here one-on-one with this corner. That's the matchup they want. So what does Stroud do? He notices this matchup, and he throws it right to Tank Dell on a perfect throw, bucket, touchdown, Texans. So this is last week against the Bengals in the red zone. He absolutely torched the Bengals just like he did the Buccaneers. So what he's going to notice here is the Bengals are man underneath. They call this an underneath man in a deep zone. It's a very common red zone play in the NFL. But the problem is no one is on Stroud, and he's athletic enough to beat you with his legs. And that's exactly what he does right here as Stroud takes it untouched into the end zone. This kid can do it in the air. This kid can do it on the ground. I don't know if there's anything that this kid can't do, which is why he's on the way to win Rookie of the Year this year. Now, thank you guys for listening to me talk about C.J. Stroud in the NFL. Now back to Tyler to close out the show.
Thanks, Jack. That's all for this week's edition of Playmakers. Make sure to follow us on our socials at PlaymakersKU to find out more on the sports world as we see it. And remember, it's not about the game you played, but the plays you made. Rock chalk, and see you next time.